Hello, watchers! Welcome back to our next episode in our slow style series for Black Desert Online. Um, I've told you guys in the last one that we would be finally heading out to Medaya. You can probably tell by me starting like this, it's not gonna happen. I actually changed my plans very quickly. I'll tell you what we're gonna do today, and I'll try something different today as well. I actually have decided, because not that I didn't know, but I realized again that we have reached level 53 already, and I thought I actually really want the upgraded Adventurer Tome. Now, I've done this one a couple of times. This is a bit of a lengthy quest. There's a lot of walking, a lot of, going back and forth. But other than that, it really is only the level requirement that you have. And you, of course, need the normal tome already. Apart from that, what is also required is a lot of energy. If I remember correctly, if you get everything right the first time, it's about 180 energy total. Now, you know that we only have 94 so far. So what I've done already is, I've prepared for it, and I've bought 2 large energy potions. And hopefully that should be enough, because they come together for another additional 100 energy. So that should bring us to a total of 194. So unless I'm misclicking or doing anything wrong, this should be good to go. So this is what we're going to do today. Now the other thing where I said I'm going to try something different is I'll potentially try the commentary after I've done the recording. I'll see how that goes. I'll probably do keep everything for now as it is, but rewatching the recording from yesterday, I'm sorry to say, but having the constant sirens in there, and always needing to kind of make sure that I catch them and filter them out, it's just very tedious and a bit annoying, really. So I want to try if this maybe is a better option to do this and to tackle that problem. Now, one thing that you will see is this is already quite a bit of a stretch, but this is the starting point. This is where the quest begins. Now we haven't been there because essentially this is going to take us to the Dregan region. Like I said, it's gonna take us pretty much around this area here. There's gonna be a lot of walking around. I'll see if we can manage to squeeze it in within the hour. I'll probably go a little bit over it. But the main reason why I want to do this now is A, so we don't have to do it later, for starters. But also, every quest that gives us XP, this tomb will be super handy, because it essentially increases the combat XP that you get from quests by, I think it's 30% roughly. So without further ado, let's head out. And what I will do is, of course, all the horseback riding, all the going in between, I will probably speed up to a certain point, not too much, so that you can still see where we are going, but fast enough so that it doesn't become completely tedious. And then the rest, if it still is too boring for you, then of course you can just jump it and go to the points that are relevant. To keep a bit of an eye on the time, I'm gonna use our food buff, and without further ado, we're gonna head out, and I'll see you at the start of the quest. Alright, and we're here. One thing that I should probably add to it, the better the horse you have, the easier this will be and the faster this will be as well. Ideally, if you have a horse with the jump skill, the extra height, that would be great. If you have the double acceleration, even better. If we even go as far and you have a Pegasus, well, that's probably the top of the line really for this quest. Anyway, let's start it and let's speak to Aljai or Aljai. Dregan. What a fun land to be in. Whom's song? You there, wait a minute. What that in your hand? This is very interesting. A record of your travels. Just like you, I've wandered around and kept records of all the fascinating sights and sounds I've witnessed. Life is finite, and time flies faster than light. I'm sure our records will remain as history to some. Well, anyway, do you know Chenga Sherekhan? I'm talking about the mythical being, not the giant at Sherekhan Necropolis. It's the history I'm chasing after right now, though of course nobody knows if it really existed. I like that look on your face. Are you excited just by the thought of making records of this? There's a scroll with an interesting inscription. I have it with me right here. When Whom sang, the dragons all over the world would gather. The dragons would then bow their heads at the feet of Whom and would let out cries. Let the altar commemorating Whom's artistic soul be embraced by the mountains. And where's the altar of Whom amongst the many infinite altars? If you find the secret, show me the records. Alright. This is where we begin. And now it's gonna take us all the way down there. Another thing that I just realized, because somebody in our guild recently asked, that even if you haven't been to an area, you can of course autopath to a destination as long as there is a target where you want to go. So if we would have just right-clicked it and pressed T, our horse would have taken us here. One last thing, again, I said this before, if you can get a horse flute, this will, in this quest, it will come in handy. I feel overwhelmed at the altar. Is it because nobody is raising their prayers? Upon closer observation, you discover a small slate stuck within the altar. The slate does not come off, as if it is tightly fixed inside. The pillar where the text is fixed reads the following text. As Whom is embraced by the mountains, the cries of the dragon upon its realization of the death soars through eternity. The tears of the dragon flood the towns. Though a handful of towns disappear, the sorrow remains. Let the song of Whom bring comfort upon those who mourn. Beneath the text, the patterns of sun, flower, wind are drawn in order. This will become important in a second, so just in case, I mean, there's obviously plenty of guides out there, but if anybody needs some help, like I said, remember this one. Sun, flower, wind. Okay? Set. There's 3 destinations now on our map. Let's start with the one over here first, and then work our way through to the right. You probably noticed that I've arrived at the point and there's nothing here to click. You need to look out for those little things here. I hope you can see the mouse cursor. And there we are. Oh, sorry, I accidentally went underwater. Don't know why. Musical spirit. The light of the musical spirit is shining bright. So and now you see the first time where we need to use some energy. So we have light, sun, and aurora. And I think the first one is the melody of the sun. Yep, correct. Now it's not a big deal if you don't get it right. The problem is just that you use up more of your precious energy. Same situation. Don't worry if you don't see it right away, it's actually here at the back. If you hover over it with your mouse, you also see that it goes to the speech bubble. So if you ever are in a situation where you don't really know where to click, just move a little bit about and see if it anywhere your mouse cursor changes, and then you find the place where you can interact. Also, if you're wondering why I take such weird routes, we don't have a swimming costume or anything, so going through the water really takes us a long time. Alright, we now have musical spirits given over delicate scent. We have Melody of the Flowers, Song of the Forest, or Song of the Rain, and in this case, we'll pick the first one, which is the Flowers. And that one is correct. This time it's a lot more prominent, and I think it's because it's the last one. We have Song of the Wind, Melody of the Cloud, or Song of Air, and we choose Song of the Wind. And we're right again. And as you could see, it's 20 energy each of those three, so that's already 60 energy that we've burned through. Roads that merge into one. The sound of the musical spirit connects us if it led towards a single path. Follow the path. This one is key, and if you're like me and usually just click through, you may be really weirded out because you look at the map and there's just nothing now. That is because, as you can probably see, those things have appeared to show up now here. I don't know if it's maybe harder to see on lower graphical settings, so potentially for this one it may be worthwhile to crank it up just a little bit. But you need to follow those ones to be brought to the next destination, and we will do just that now. As you reach out to the musical spirit, a beautiful melody resonates deep throughout the valleys. It seems like the musical spirit's song contains Chenga, Sherekhan Tome's song. As the song finishes, an energy containing a gentle voice glides through the wind and soaks into your hands. The musical spirit lets out a pleasant sound unlike before, as if it is feeling well. Return to Whom's altar, and we will get our first slate of wisdom. thing that I should have probably mentioned from the start, and I think I'll put it in the video description, is bring carrots for your horse as well. The journey is going to be long. The slate that did not budge before gets pulled out easily as it let out some dust. As you dust off the spot beneath where the slate was pulled out, you see what appears to be a drawing of a dragon's nest, and ancient writing written as in the shape of a hand. I told you it's gonna be a long journey. See you there. As you stand in front of the pagoda, Whom's slate begins to resonate. Behind Whom's slate, a text slowly reveals itself. Year 32 of the Sherekhan calendar, the rain ceases to pour for half a year. Turpa Mountain was to be blamed for, as it was blocking the rain clouds. Thus, Arkham lifted up the mountain with his hands, and the mark of his palms shall remain to be known to generations to come. A ring was sealed on Arkham's ring finger, and it was buried inside a hole where the remnants remained. There is a rather common hammer lying around at the altar, but nothing looks like it needs a hammering on the altar. Altar? Altar? Whatever, you know what I mean. Now, this one's a bit tricky as well, because you have 3 points where you need to go to, and then this one right here, right? The problem with this one is, it's a bit of a trick. You can go and use this one right away, but it won't do anything. You need to come here last, otherwise this is going to be a massive energy sink. So we just opt out of this again, and we'll do the other ones quickly. So also here, don't worry about moving a little bit around here. So you see up until where this comes, and again, if you need help, just use control so that your mouse cursor comes up and you hover over it until you see it. There's a rock wall in the crater. Now on this one, I have to think about it. Rock wall. Praise water. I think it was hit with a hammer. Tap with the hammer, hit with the hammer. Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. And it's not that long ago when I've done it on one of my characters, but it's a little while, and I'm old and I forget things, so this one's a bit mean. Because you go here, nothing happens. You need to actually just go on the rock. Yeah, energy from the rock. And energy from the rock. Oh. See, this is what I mean, so we need a bit of energy. So now we can use one of our energy potions. And we're back to 69. So, energy from the rock. And it should be the first one. Meditating. Yes. There are already tons of guides out there on this quest, but in case any of you watches this, I think I will put the correct answers in the description below as well. So you just have it easy to read in case you want to follow any of this. Okay. And on this one, I think we just need to go up there, yeah. Like I said, there's a bit of climbing, lots of walking, running around. Energy from the iron wall. And on the energy from the iron wall, it should be place your hands on the ground, I think. Yes! Ah, thank goodness. The reason why I say thank goodness is if we would have wasted it now, we only would have one more attempt. And also because those ones have a cooldown of 8 minutes. I mean, I would have just paused and then continued once it's done again, but it's nice that we can just carry on. So now that we've done all 3, this is the point where... Okay, I get trapped in that little river. No. This is where we go back to this first one where I said this could otherwise potentially be an energy sink. So all 3 of those were again 20 energy each. And I think the last one now, the tap with a hammer, should only be 10 energy. I think. Let's head over here quickly. Yes, this one is 10. Hit with the hammer. Archon's ring. And we get our next slate. Something was forced out by a power. It appears to be the piece of another slate. To another slate. Sorry. As you pick up the slate, a low voice echoes. The Kirnak Mountain split into 2. Duvinkroon, Gervish, water stream of life. Well, that was ominous, wasn't it? Already selected the next destination, so I'll see you when we're there. You see a slate at the corner of the altar. It appears to be an altar paying tribute to Gervish. As you put your hand on the slate, a low voice echoes throughout the cave. Water of life that saved Duvinkroon, the beginning of the waterfall, flowing stream of water. Locked well, awaken Gervish's victory. Right, Gervish Pagoda. The mark of the arrow that Gervish shot at Kirnak Mountain can be found in the water. Again, if you just click through, you may now be like, what? What am I going to do? Well, that's kind of the hint that they give you. Yeah, a bit of a low one. Essentially, I think you need to go relatively in the middle of this little lake. And, there we are already. So if you see this on the minimap, this is where it comes up. You hit R. Seems like there's some crumpled up energy in the grove. Oh, sorry. And because we don't really swim, we have absolutely no air to breathe for long. So we need to do this relatively quickly. We need 10 energy again, pull out the energy source. After pulling it out, a small vortex started to show up at that spot. Alright. Right mouse button. And we go back again. The altar's fire weakened. Is it because energy was drawn out of it? It's as if the flow of the lake changed its course. The rapid stream slows down after a while and water begins to fill up the lake. Did the lake at the lower end lose water? And now we have the next one, which is down there, and this is going to be a little bit funny, but I'll show you. This one is easier than the first one. But again, you're like, okay, so there's no hint and I'm right at the middle. Do I need to get up here? Like maybe on the top of it? No, you don't. Actually, all you need to do is just go a little bit here on this side. Again, just dip a little bit under the water if you have to. We could see it there already for a split second. There we go. As you reach your hand out to the pattern, water suddenly splashes out. It feels as if an unknown energy went into your hand. It appears as if you can pull out the slate from the altar. Go to Gervish's altar. Now it leads us back down there, and you can obviously take all the way down there, and I just realized earlier when we did all this way around we could have probably taken a shortcut there. There's another way for us to do this, and I'm gonna show you how, and I'm also gonna tell you what you will need, because either you have a character that has lots of HP and you're really good at aiming, because essentially where we need to be is down there again. Now what you can do is, if you're really good, you can try to use the different levels to get from one to the next, right? You will still lose HP even if you manage to hit them. What we will most likely not be able to do. So you will see what we will need in a second. Oh, actually we won't. We are surviving it. So this is one way, and it's just a shortcut really. The other one would be you just jump straight to death, and then you're using one of those if you have them. I think there's a couple of different versions of this, but essentially it allows you to just revive on the spot. As soon as you pull out the slate from the altar, the energy surrounding your hand disappears. Sherekhan, Test of Wisdom, Macalod, Llama, Thief, Tiger, Striped, Carpet. The altar uttered words you don't understand and lost its strength. Again, this is already giving you kind of a hint, but yeah, I said it before, a lot of people are probably very much similar to me. I usually just click through the quest really fast so I can head to the next point, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. Now I need a guide. Somebody please present a guide. Yeah, and that's fine, luckily, because there are tons of people that have done this already. We should probably call our horse. Again, this is where the flute comes so much in handy. So otherwise we would be too far away and we would need to get it either from a stable or elsewhere. Let's just see. Oh god, yeah, this is gonna be a journey again, so I'll see you when we arrive there. Yep, it is a llama. So remember that altar we were at last just ushered something about a llama. Now we will need our energy already here, I think, because this one, yeah, it's about wisdom, so he's gonna quiz us a little bit. So let's use that second potion. And let's hope that I remember the correct order, because otherwise this is gonna be tricky. A fearless llama looks at you with innocent eyes. As you reach out to pet its head, the look in its eyes changed. Proof of wisdom. Sherekhan. Test of wisdom. Prove it. Remember. Makalot, llama, thief, tiger, striped carpet. So. The thing that contains something has the skies closed above, has edges, and is burning with fire. I wonder how many of these things there are in the cave. Now you had your chance. 3 exist. The llama smiles as if it is happy. Who is the one who is not Chenga Sherekhan? Belkadas, Akum, Dorota, or Makalot? If you've paid attention so far, you should have seen one of those names has not come up yet. And it is Belkadas. Of the following Sherekhans, who fights barehanded? Now, if you've grinded in Drigan already, that's gonna be easy for you. If not, then this may be a bit of a tricky one. But I'll let you take a guess quickly. Okay, and the correct answer is Nibriga. What do I have to do to make sure the llama doesn't get stolen? Now remember where I said pay attention to it. Hide in the house, spread through your jab on the fence, put up a scarecrow, or hang the tiger patterned carpet, on the cage. Yep, that's the answer. The llama smiles as if it is happy. The unfamiliar voice disappears and the llama's eyes regained its sparkle. As you pet the llama's head, a warm energy rushes into your hand and the slate tightens in your hand. You follow where the llama is looking, towards the back of the slate, and you see a text. Chenga, Sherekhan, Dorota shall have 99 children, and all 99 children made the Sherekhans prosper. Dorota shall become an example to the Sherekhan, so the grave shall be embroidered and highly honored. Alright. Another hint. Another day, another dollar. No. Horsey is still alive. And we head out to our next destination, just a little bit further away again. See you there. Sorry, I just took a quick detour. I know we're gonna get here anyway. But some of you may remember this one. This is actually the landmark that we saw when we were in, correct, Calpheon. So, if you come over here just for a second, and you know I really like to do this kind of stuff, so you probably see it already in the far distance. Don't worry, we'll carry on in a second. There. You can somewhat make out the edges of a town. Or castle or whatever. Brilliant, isn't it? Okay. Apologies for the little interruption. Let's carry on to our next destination. The slate and giant memorial stone resonate as if to communicate with one another. A small text is written on the corner of the memorial stone. Oh, I shall be conceived inside my mother and become a baby again. I shall not go out into the world. I shall always stay inside my mother. The slate in your hand vibrates again. Follow the path. The slate and giant memorial stone resonate as if to communicate with one another. A small text is written on the corner of the memorial stone. I shall not flow out into the world, even when the water breaks. I will love my mother, no matter what happens. The remaining slate began to vibrate violently. Perhaps you should go towards the vibrations. First, when I was here, I kind of went around this one over and over, then I went to this one until I realized, oh shit, there's an even bigger one over there, and well, guess what? That's the one where we need to be. A giant memorial stone stands in front. Is it a memorial stone for Dorota? The slate's vibrations have calmed down, but there's nothing else that appears odd. The memorial stone of sadness. It's difficult to read the memorial stone because of its giant size. Move to a better spot. That was close because I almost fell off. So, a high place. And all you need to do now is you click on examine, and I think you just need to zoom in, which is Q. Yeah, and that's it already. It seems like a great spot to examine the megalith. Alright. And now we need to go down there again. The rotor passes away from the pain of carrying her 99th child. The dead child inside the mother shall be buried together with her mother. The child shall forever rest inside the mother's womb. As you read the text written on the memorial stone, the slates you've been carrying begin to rumble violently. Go towards where the vibrations subside. Now in here there's 3 spots that you actually want to go and take a look at. Let's start with the first one, which is the massive coffin. You see an old coffin. It's closed tightly and doesn't open. Perhaps there's a device that could open the coffin. You see a small text on what appears to be the rotor's grave. To the rotor and her child. Shine the light and melt the clotted time. Essentially I don't know if that is supposed to give you a hint, but you just need to find 2 more things, where first is a glittering object. You see a glittering object on the ground. Pick up. You picked up an old flint. And then right next to the grave, this is a bit harder, is a dry branch. Dry branches are all over the place. If lit, it will start a big fire. Light fire. It became warm, and the aura from the room starts to gather in the casket. And now we look at the grave again. Musty dust flows out as the coffin opens up. You see a shining object from the midst of the dust. The rotor's coffin lays forlornly. Combine ancient figures. Combining the 5 Chenga Sherekhan slates reveals a complete sentence. The one who succeeds the Chenga Sherekhan wisdom. Show me thy face. Combine all the pieces and go where the combined slates lead you. And on this one, idiot me, I had a lot of fun with that, because you now have all the 5 slates, and if any of you had anything already to do with like combining stuff here, you would normally do it like this, like a lot of things. So did I, and I kept wondering, oh, why this does not work, until I finally hovered over it and read it, and it's the purple text you want to pay attention to. It says Hum Akum Gervish Makalot Dorata, because that's the order. And then the red one at the very top says the different name. Piece Hum slate, Makalot slate, Akum slate, Gervish, Dorata. And we start with Hum first. The next one is Akum. We then have Gervish. Then Makalot. And last but not least, we have the Dorata. And look at that. And we have a complete ancient Chenga Sherekhan's slate. Now, we already have our next destination. Let's hop on our horsey and get there to use the combined slate. That stone pagoda looks ordinary, but there's a groove on one of its side. Insert the slate into the groove. Grove? Those who have forgotten the wisdom of the Chenga Sherekhans will suffer great hardships. As you insert the slate into the pagoda's grove, the ground begins to rumble violently. Still looks ordinary. Ancient statue. Check if something changed around the statue. Apologies. I do this every single time. There is also a platformer. I've never attempted it, but I'm sure there's something that you get if you make it to the top. Maybe check for another YouTube video, because I'm not even gonna attempt it. As you reach towards the statue, it becomes silent as if time slowed down. Then suddenly, an energy of light gathers into your hands. You feel a mysterious power. You no longer feel any energy from the Chenga Sherekhan statue. Go towards where the energy in your hands lead you. It's really impressive. It looks so amazing. Down there. And I think this is the last point, where we potentially do a small, really small... Oh, what's this? The famous Sherekhan necropolis. You can enjoy the magnificent view from the necropolis here. The graves of great warriors. You discovered the famous Sherekhan necropolis. Plant the flag and signal Rulupi. Oh? Signal Rulupi. Oh? You planted the flag and signaled Rulupi. Oh my goodness, without even us realizing it, we've accidentally also completed another quest. Wow, look at this view. We're up so high. Being here makes me wonder what kind of people the Sherekhans were. Oh, and look here. The view from this side is also amazing. I should bring my friends up here too. Haha, nice. Oh nice, we got a golden chest and a key with it. Well, shall we? Use Driganold key, open chest. And we got Advice of Luck. Okay, okay. Not bad at all. The one who succeeds, the Chenga Sherekhan wisdom. All the pieces of wisdom have been put together. On top of the stone that succeeds Chenga Sherekhan, your name shall be engraved. This is the succession of a new Chenga Sherekhan, and shall bring salvation throughout eternity. A recorded myth. The energy in your hands disappeared, together with the fading voice. There is no longer any energy lingering on the altar, and you see your name engraved next to the 5 Chenga Sherekhans. Now, go back to Ali J and share everything that happened. This is it. Alright. So, essentially we've completed the quest line. So, all, quotation marks, that's left to do is get our reward from Ali J. Which means we walk all the way back to where we originally started from. So I'll see you there. Alright, we've made it back to where we started. Ali J, or LJ, or Aljai. Haha, how interesting. Are you saying you witnessed all the Chenga legends in person? I'm not doubting what you're saying, but it's actually hard to believe. Are you sure it wasn't some dream? Well, I guess that's how all records work. There's no other way to prove it, to the later generations to come without any records. Oh, don't get angry. My belief in you is not important. All you're doing is taking down records of what happened until now, but it will serve as history for later generations. How about you let the later generations decide if they want to believe you or not? I should get moving now. We have to make more history, don't we? Alright, we've done it. We've got the Chenga Crystal of Wisdom. This quest is now complete. This is the item that you get, and it will actually tell you to use simple alchemy to obtain the new tomb. So all we need to do is we click L again on our keyboard, simple alchemy, and we've put our adventurer's tomb and the Chenga Crystal of Wisdom. We hit start and we just wait for a moment. And looking at our timer, the whole thing took us now a little over an hour, and that is given the fact that we've started from Heidel, we've read all the text, we've took our time, we only used a level 5 horse, to be fair, so I think you can do it much faster. If you know the way, there's obviously more shortcuts that you could have taken. I've had a couple of, unfortunate detours because I went the wrong direction. So I think overall this is not bad, and like I said, this item will benefit you greatly. You'll see it there in yellow, so your prognal silver bar gain is plus 20%, but the important bit is really combat grade XP obtained through quests is plus 30%. And this will make a huge difference later on, and this will also be the item that we will rely on when we make our move from level probably 57 to 61. If you haven't seen that yet, that's fine, I'll take you there. I'm sure most of you will know about this, but yeah, it's nice. So this was a little bit of a detour. The next time, I promise you, we will start our journey towards Medaya. We'll make that quick stop at the Kamasilv Temple, and I think I will head back now to Heidel so that we can start from there, almost have a seamless transition. Some of you will have also undoubtedly noticed that I didn't make a stop this time to talk to people with an exclamation mark, increase my knowledge, any of that, because I do kind of want to keep that for when the storyline takes us here naturally. This was really just me going, I kind of really wanted this item and I wanted to have it done now, and then we don't need to bother with it later on. So I hope that's okay. If you didn't like it, that's fine as well, and I hope I see you again on the next one. But for now, take care, stay healthy, look after yourself, and I hope to see you again fairly soon. Bye bye.